Hey, I'm Crystal Nerpel. I'm an organizing expert and coach, and I help people declutter, de stress, and simplify through one on one coaching and through my Loving Your Home Club. Today, our conversation is going to be centered around looking at your belongings with a new perspective and loving what you already own instead of going out and buying new things. So, interior designer Jamie Price is going to give us a lot of great tips on how to use what you already have in your home to create the home of your dreams. Let's get the conversation started. The way you do things, from what I hear, you do things a lot like the way I do things with organizing and decluttering. So that's why I wanted to reach out to you and talk to you and kind of pick your brain a little bit. So this is almost a little selfish for me too, because I want to have this conversation to learn from you and to learn how you do what you do and help people fall in love with pieces that they already have in their homes and reusing them. I love that so much because that is what I encourage people to do whenever they are organizing or decluttering, is just looking at a space with new fresh eyes and then trying to cut, as far as organizing products, don't go out and buy stuff if you have stuff that are already, you can already use. Save yourself some money if you can. So anyway, so that just really intrigued me, and I am excited to talk to you today and just kind of like how do you pull that out of your clients too, and like kind of encourage them to get to that place where they fall in love with either their home again or a certain part of their home or a certain product or whatever. So first of all, though, I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about not necessarily just your work background, but also just personal, like let us get to know you a little bit personally too, if you don't mind. Tell us where you are and everything. So I'm gonna let you take it away.
Okay, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for this opportunity. I have been in interior design for about 20 years, and I am a mother of two adult children.
Yeah.
Soon to be 31 and soon to be 29.
Oh,
Um,
still your babies.
yeah, don't blink, it goes so fast.
I know.
My son lives with me, and my daughter lives in LA. I am a watercolor and pastel artist as well, as an interior designer. I have studied art for as long as I can remember, and color theory has always been a passion for me. I started years ago. You would invite me over to a party, and we would be moving furniture. I would enlist everybody in the party, like, do we have about 5 minutes? Can we just play a little bit? The men are involved, everybody's involved. Give me a hammer, I'm going to lower some paintings. I mean, there's just things I am going to do because I can't stop my brain.
Right. Well,
Um,
right when we first popped on, you're like, you need to scoot your table over a little bit. So I love that. So you're always looking. Okay, I love that.
I'm always looking. Real quickly, I go to a movie with my son. I'm like, did you see that window treatment? He goes, do you even know what the plot line was?
Oh, I
That's
love
the
that.
nature of the business. So
Yeah, yeah. So it's all about the little details and the things that other people don't notice. That's why it makes, that's why you're so good at what you do, I'm sure.
I have a really cute little story. A girlfriend of mine gave, she goes, do you have gift certificates? And I said, no, but I could. And she's like, I want to gift your time to a friend of mine. There's
Mhm,
just something that's wrong, something that's off, and I don't have the guts to tell her. So I
mhm.
walked in the house and I'm looking around and I'm like, how tall is your husband? And she goes, what do you mean? I'm just like, is he here? And he comes out, he's like 6'7". All of the artwork was at his eye level.
Ah, yes. So way up tall.
Way up
Way high.
tall. Yes, you could put a couple more paintings underneath it and create a vignette, which I love to do, but
Uh-huh.
everything had to come down to gallery height is like off the floor of 5'4", five
Okay.
foot floor off the floor. That's gallery, and that everybody, our minds read that well, but it's like,
Mhm, mhm.
wow.
That's really interesting too, because I noticed that my husband's not a tall man, but he has a tendency to hang things really high. And I've noticed that in other people's homes. I think it's almost a natural tendency to hang things really high. And I'm a shorter person, so I put it at
Yeah.
eye level. which means they're probably a little shorter than they probably should be. But yes, that is funny.
And then to your vignette behind you, I was really impressed because you brought, I know,
Thank
you brought the artwork down to create this vignette behind you with the table and the lamp. Usually it's like 8 inches. Kudos to you,
you. Oh,
off the
wow.
bottom of whatever artwork, off the top of the table. It's 8 to 10 inches maximum.
Oh gosh,
Again,
I
it
did not know
creates
that.
the
That's good to know.
story behind you, and
And
it's
that's what,
beautiful.
yes, that's what it feels like. It's a story. I have books back there, but it's a
Yeah.
story, and all that stuff back there kind of like that means stuff to me, by the way. So that is a story. Anyway, not to take your interview away from you, but like these books all mean something to me. And then inside there is this is a little miracle box that Teresa, who we are common friends with, she introduced that to me. And then yes, and actually that's a gift right there from her too. Anyway, so
I just want to
yeah,
say good job.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I feel so like good now. Thanks. So, so how do you recognize when someone needs to like reuse something, or when things maybe are a little off, or I don't know, just tell us like how do you know? How do you just walk into a space and just kind of know what to start recommending or reusing or
Well, it's you would have me over. You would say, I just want to shake things up a little bit. We've owned this stuff forever. My husband and I really aren't in the financial means or the interest of replacing everything because we chose everything together. This means a lot to us. And for my husband to even be involved, whoa, this is fantastic. So I don't want to throw everything out. And
Mhm,
I'd walk in and I would notice like maybe a round table, if you turned it where how some people you walk into a space like the little dinette area I'm in right now, facing this way, it's only 10 feet wide. If you
mhm,
take a table and you turn it so that the chairs create an X in the room,
okay.
everything, all the chairs go back into the open space as opposed to a cross in the room that the chairs are going back into the walls. Person
Oh, mhm.
changing the orientation of that area is like, you just blew my mind. I've never thought of doing that,
Right,
right? And
right.
I did that with a realtor one time, and it was a very forced space. And I just turned things to where 45-degree angle,
Mhm,
where the chairs then come in and exit out to the corners of the room. So a person who's sitting there feels comfortable that they can get out without feeling impeded. You can really play with a table in a space.
mhm.
Also, what I love, one of my favorite stories is this single mother. We were young, our kids were young. She had raised her kids with her son, with her parents' help, just about a whole room of furniture. And she goes, but it feels cold. And she goes, can you come over and help me? I'm like, okay. So I specialized in redesign. I got certified in redesign. Iris was an organization back in the day that was seen on Oprah. And I went through the certification. I'm very spatial. I
Okay.
don't feel I have good math skills per se, but my geometry is really strong. And I went into her house and I started moving things around, and everything I moved, she goes, oh, I never thought of that. I never thought of that. I said, you have absolutely no personality in this room. And I know you have my heart.
Mhm.
Where are your family photos? And she's like, what do you mean, where are my family photos? They say you're not supposed to have them in your living space. And I said, who are they? And why are they in your home?
Right.
I went walking around the house and I'm gathering his baby picture. I'm gathering him and with his grandparents, her with her mother that, she had been ill. And I brought everybody to the room into a window, a bay window that was screaming for something. It was just something. And I'm just creating all these heights with all these different frames. And she started crying.
I was gonna say that just kind of gives me chills too, because I could, yes,
Because she
because
was listening to they. Who are they that you
yes,
think? That's one thing
yeah.
about being an interior designer. I have a unique design approach. I honor what you already have. I will shop your home. You have reasons why your things are in certain places. I will listen to that. But then we will move things and have our own little aha moments with each thing that's placed. Like, I want to see you excited about why we just moved into the room. To the 6'7" husband couple, they had a beautiful antique game table right in the middle of the room. They had all these chairs sprinkled around the room because they were church, and it had all these small groups.
Yes.
And they thought, I go, but if we had a purpose for these chairs, they wouldn't be so out off place. So I put chairs around the game table. I created little vignettes of chairs with a little table. I did, all this stuff, and it no longer looked like a church.
Right.
With the outskirts of everybody coming in and being able to be seated. We created these little areas, almost a conversation area, if you will, each little pocket that you looked at.
Oh, I love that. So then it just flowed nicely. What I really loved what you said earlier was how your friend's space felt cold.
It felt
And
cool.
when you walk into a room, it absolutely has a feeling, and you should feel the way you want to feel when you walk into your home. And I say that all the time too. So if you're walking in and you're feeling off, there is something wrong. And for me, it's dealing with the clutter, but also shifting and moving things around absolutely changes the energy in a room. And that is what you do. And again, that's why I'm drawn to you, because that's just, I feel like it's the same thing. Yes, there is an energy. And I just breathe some life into it, but just shifting a few things down around, and yeah, will absolutely make you love your space.
Well, even to your plant in the corner, right? It's life. It's a
Mhm.
beautiful green in the room. And people say, I can't have plants, I'll kill plants. But one way to bring in warmth is do a vase of flowers when you have people over, or when you don't have people over. Put a vase of flowers that make you smile when you walk in the room. It's not breaking the bank. You can
Mhm.
choose an antique vase from your grandmother. You can bring those little mementos. They don't have to be in a cabinet until the appointed time. You just bring it out and you fill it with just beauty, so that when you walk in the room, it just makes, and that's like, again, updating for spring, we have an opportunity to bring in bright shots of color, switching things out, bringing in your favorite flowers, burning a beautiful candle. Yeah, there's,
Oh my God, I feel like you just speak my language. Absolutely. Everything you just said. I'm like, yes, 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 yes. The flowers, just go buy yourself some flowers and treat yourself, whether you have
yeah,
company coming over or not. And then that's also, I love doing that too, because there is no clutter left behind after they're dead. Just throw them away. And then
exactly.
use use those beautiful sentimental pieces, like bringing out your grandmother's face. Use that
Use
just
that.
amplifies the emotional feeling of, connection with family or happiness or love. And then you bringing in your friends family photos into the living space, into the family space. Of course you should have your family in there. So, oh, I just love all that. I love it. Yes, very good, very good. So what is there anything in your home, like, to get a little personal, is there anything in your home that you have, like, that's special to you, that you have reused in a certain way that has meaning to you?
I I move paintings around a lot. I again, I create, let's see, should I turn you? Do you want to turn?
You
You
can,
want to
yeah,
go for a dance with me? Like,
that'd be
so
amazing.
let's see this one.
Oh, nice.
Those two paintings over there, I had gifted them to my mother, and then my mother passed away, and I was able to bring them into my house. So
Oh, no.
instead of just doing one on a wall, you do two. You can
Okay.
stagger them.
Yes.
Again, it makes me smile every time I see that.
Yeah.
Let's see, where else am I going to take you?
I wish I could take a tour of your entire house. I bet it's
No,
amazing.
no, because I have those rooms. No, no.
We
Um,
all have those rooms, which is good. That makes me feel a little bit better too. You're human. Yeah.
I am human. Okay, so this was really fun. And there is, I'm sorry, my cleaners are here. So there is
Oh,
a
awesome.
vacuum cleaner right in front. But if you were to look at this table,
Mhm.
Again, there's the mirror that's, what, 6 inches off the table.
Oh, mhm,
Then you have a nice lamp.
mhm.
And then I have a picture of me and my dog. But underneath the table, that's an excellent opportunity to put stools.
Oh, yes, I love that.
So that and it offers texture, the rattan offers texture.
Mhm.
So sorry about the vacuum cleaner. Um, I like layering things. I think that's very important to layer things. And I love practicality.
Mhm.
Like when I do every Halloween, I do a pajama party.
Oh, fun.
Instead of a costume party, I do a pajama party. And in my first year, everybody's like, this is ridiculous. Well, we're in California. That
Mhm.
time of year, it's 60 degrees.
Yeah,
We can have, dinner outside.
yes.
Seems like a no-brainer. But I love layering and the stools, which is perfect there. And then I can bring them out into the living room area when other people come, but I don't have to put them out in the garage. I mean, it just makes sense.
Yes. And then almost it's almost like shopping your own home too, and walking around and shopping your home and seeing how you can shift things around and move things from room to room. So
I'm,
do you do that a lot?
I do that a lot.
Hmm.
But it's funny though, but when things are settled for a year or so, it feels right. It's like
Mm.
I'm constantly shifting, just tweaking things a little bit. I mean, I'm seriously tweaking like a frame. That's a little obsessive, but
I
it
do this. No, I do the
right.
same thing. I do the same thing. Yes, even my
Nice,
cleaning
just a
lady.
little turn. Just
Yes, I do that. I do that. So I get you. Yeah. Yeah, even my sweet cleaning lady, Miss Alicia. Oh my gosh, Miss Alicia days are my favorite days. But she even will say like, I see you've moved something again. Yes,
Oh, but
I have. Just until it's got it. For me, see, and I feel like I'm a little different. Like it doesn't take a year for it to feel right for me. Or maybe it does takes a year for me to find the right spot. But as soon as I know it's there, I'm like,
it's more that if I haven't moved it for a year,
oh
because
yeah,
it's that tweaking at the very
yeah,
beginning, and when it settles into where it's like, I must really like that.
yes, yes. It's perfect.
I flew into Denver to go visit my cousin one time, and we got into her living room. We're sitting down having a glass of wine, and I'm looking over here, talking to her, looking over here, talking to her, and she's like, "Can you move it so we can get back into a
I know you
conversation?
want to move it. Just move it.
Just move it so we can get
See
back to our conversation."
Um, well, okay, so let's talk about repurposing again then. So, and I'll just share my repurposing story. We've been in this house for 15 years, and my daughter has gone off to college. So this actually used to be her bedroom, and I did ask permission before I moved in because it's been her bedroom and nobody else's bedroom ever. Nobody else has lived here ever, so she was fine with it. So I repurposed this room to make it my office, and I feel, and I've told her before too, I feel her energy in here too.
Mm.
She's very creative and artistic like you too. And that's what she's studying in college. And I feel like when I'm in here, I'm not as productive as maybe I would be if I were like actually on my kitchen table for some reason, but I'm so much more creative. And I think a lot of that has to do with like the energies she left behind for me. I don't know. And then I wanted to share also the table too. Actually, I'm gonna have to send this to my neighbor. I bought this from my neighbor. It used to be her father's, I believe, but I just kind of refinished it, repurposed it. But this has been, it used to be my desk, and then I grew into a real size desk. And then my daughter used it for a makeup table in here, which was perfect. And so now it has makeup stains all over it. But I actually want to leave the makeup stains, and I just use it like it is on the top. There's like little black smudges just because when I look at it, I'm
It
like,
reminds you.
oh, Tori makes me think of Tori.
Yeah.
She's just in college. She didn't like move out forever, but still, I love having that. And so I love that table just because we've used it all over the house. So that moving thing and shifting things and reusing, that table has definitely got reused in my
Well, I
house.
just have so many people saying, like this one lady, she went into her house to move things around, redesign. I shopped the house. Created all these rooms in one day. And she had all of these beautiful family pictures, but not just current family. I mean, ancestral
Oh,
family I mean, beautiful. The sepia. sepia,
Yes.
beautiful framed. And she's like, nobody wants to see these. I said, every single piece that you have touched, you've had a story about. Why
Mhm.
wouldn't anyone want to hear your heart? And I am so fascinated with the fact, first of all, you know about all this. This is amazing. And each of these pieces speak to you. Oh, they're all going up. She served me a martini and they all went up. It was in the evening. We had, I just laid everything out on the floor. She had all these pieces. She had her grandmother's chest. We created this entire, excuse me, entire wall.
Mm.
And then I went into another room and there was a round table that I brought out for her grandmother's rocking chair and created almost this anchor piece. Yeah,
I
and,
love that. And
people
I
don't
bet she
know. I
like,
mean, they know the treasures they have because every time they look at it, much like your desk, your daughter's desk, it just makes you smile. It makes you remember something that's so poignant. And
it,
we're such a disposable society that
yes.
I can start over. I can start with a brand new suite of furniture, and I'm yeah, as an interior designer, I love doing that. But we're gonna find a home for something else, you know. And
Oh,
then
I
I
love
take
that.
I was doing living room, and the husband, I call him the driver because someone is always the stronger of the pair. And I love giving the quieter one a voice. And I said, well, what about the painting on, the whole room is going to be redone. What about the painting above the fireplace? And he goes, oh, that can go. And she goes, no, it can't. And I'm like, well, why, what speaks to you? What is it about that painting? And she goes, we chose it 20 years ago on one of the most special vacations we've ever had. And we chose it together. She goes, that's not going anywhere. I
Mhm.
said, but the beauty of this is that's an entirely different palette than what is currently your furniture that you've owned for 20 years. Let's play with those colors. And then I
Mm.
looked at him and I said, Chris, what do you think? And I go, what if we just reframed it, updated the frame? And he's just looking, then he's looking at the furniture and he's looking at something that she loves. And he goes, so what are you thinking? Let's play with the blues. Let's play with the cream. It's much like your background,
Mhm.
Crystal, right? The blues and the creams, they're natural, beautiful, calming. And he goes, oh, and she goes, so can we keep the painting? And he goes, I don't think we can get rid of the painting. But he goes, but if we reframe it today, in today's terms and how we're redoing the living room, yeah, it could look really good. We went shopping and she chose a rug that was completely different because we're now bringing that painting into the room.
Oh, great. Okay, so there are two things there in that story that
Sorry,
I well, no, that's great. This is my takeaway from that story is one is like I wonder if so he probably had no idea then that she loved it so much
no,
that
he
like
just thought it
maybe
was a
they never had
painting.
that conversation.
He thought it was an old painting that they've had for 20 years.
And she loves it, maybe not necessarily because of the way it looks, but because of what it meant to her, because of it reminds her of the vacation or whatever that was. That, oh,
Vacation and they chose it together. And
yes. And so
it
now
was really a beautiful moment. It really was because he was just like, oh,
yeah, he probably had no we just don't talk about stuff like
he
that.
had no
Or
idea.
we don't think to talk about that. Or we just assume, well, the like I love it because of this, so he must love it too. Not necessarily. And
Not
then the
necessarily.
other thing is finding an anchor piece that is special to you that you love and then using that to create your room and the design the room around. I love that. So you use the painting and pick the colors based on that. I love
Of the
that.
painting. So I wrote some notes to go over a little bit. Another tip that I have
Oh,
is being an artist. I always map my artwork in a light cream or white
mm,
because the artwork can go anywhere in the house. But if you choose a mat that fits the room or is distinctive to the painting itself, it may not necessarily go into a room.
oh, good.
It's the
Okay.
weirdest thing. It's white and soft cream. That artwork is timeless and can go anywhere in the house.
Gotcha. So matting it, meaning like the back mat, and then
The
putting
yeah, the
or the
framing mat,
yes,
cream and
gotcha.
white. It can go. You might be able to get away with just an inner matte color, to keep it very clean. But I mean, like what I showed you, those are 20 years old. The
Oh,
paintings that were over here, they're
okay.
white.
Yeah. Yeah, and they look great there.
And they look great there, and they look great together because again, if you walk into a gallery, you're not going to be paying attention to what they put together because it seems to just go together
Right, regardless of
regardless.
what's in the actual matting and painting. Okay, oh, good tip. Okay, what other tips do you have for us?
And cream, cream is the go-to right now. It's
Is
very
it?
trendy, but it's a very, very smart way to go because anything in the room will stand out.
Gotcha. Isn't that amazing too when you paint a room? Like sometimes I will go to a friend's house. I'm like, did you get a new couch? I'm like, nope, had that for 10 years. It's just they painted the room. I'm like, wow. It's just amazing what colors will do. So you being an artist obviously understand that. So much good information. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so let's go ahead and we can wrap it up real quick, but I do want to ask you two questions just about yourself. Like, first, tell us, because I've got something called the Loving Your Home Club, and we lean into the love and gratitude a lot. So, what is one thing that you love about your home? Just one thing.
Um, it has a very artistic pottery feel. And when I went, I was fortunate I was able to remodel, and I just love the deep jewel tones, the
Mm,
deep burgundies. I mean, the walls are just a soft kind of a khaki, but then the jewel tones really do pop. I'll show you
so,
my pillows.
so the
Let's see.
colors. So you love the colors. How do those colors make you feel? I'm just curious. Like what?
It calms me. I don't know if you can see that. I should open the window treatment. Hold on. It calms
What
me.
is?
We have here. I'll show you the
There we go.
pillows. Can you see them?
Yes.
So this is the couch is very neutral, but then I love just bringing pillows in. I always recommend spending, smart money on the bigger pieces, and then you can switch out the pillows on a whim.
Yes.
But I've
Seasonal
had,
too.
huh?
And seasonal and just whenever your mood changes, just switch out pillows.
Well, and then to speak to spring, I mean, I'm going to look for that blue in just some pillow covers. So
Mhm,
then I can switch them out with a burgundy stripe, put the
mhm.
blue ones on the couch, and I know it's going to be exciting.
Oh, yeah, that'll be pretty. What do you
And then
love about yourself? One thing you love about yourself.
I love, well, it's business wise. I love being able to communicate with people and enjoy the outcome and helping people get on the same page. Well, it's
Mm,
like well, I'm involved in a lot of different agencies. I'm on a lot of different boards, and just being part of the conversation. I I love being part of the conversation. And brainstorming.
mm.
I
Yeah,
I don't
so
know.
getting your being able to get you're very good about being able to get your point across and pull. I think you're good probably about pulling things out of people is what I keep noticing is you can like you notice things that other people don't notice too. So awesome. Very good. Jamie, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us. And I know you have a lot more knowledge, but at least like there's quite a few little nuggets of wisdom in there that I'm sure my people, my followers will love to learn about and listen to. And so thank you. Thank you.
You're
Thank you. I appreciate you so
welcome.
much for being here.
I
Yeah.
appreciate the opportunity to talk with you and get to know you better. And my dining room is that color. So we're on the
It
same page.
is. This is so dark for me, by the way. This was like a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I love it. So yes, very good.
Yeah,
Yeah. I feel
it's
like we've
very
got quite a bit
calming.
in common too. And
Yeah.
then and so I will share your I'll share your contact information as far as like your business page. And so it is Design Compass, is correct?
Yes.
And so I'll share your website and your Facebook page with everybody, and I'll put it in a link below wherever I post this so that way people can find you if they need to work
Can
with
I say one more thing though?
you. Yes,
I've
please.
been instrumental in helping people virtually throughout the United States.
Fabulous.
So I offer a design dilemma virtual tour. If you just want to walk me around, much like what I did,
Mhm.
without the vacuum cleaner. Or you can have a vacuum cleaner, really. But
So design
it's on my
dilemma.
website.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on my website. If people are interested in just booking some time with me, I would love the opportunity to help anybody.
Awesome. Yeah. So you're in California, but that doesn't mean that you have to live in California to work with Jamie. Okay.
No, you just
Wonderful. Oh
walk me
my
around
gosh,
with the phone. I
technology.
might ask you to turn
Yeah.
me over here and turn me over there. Yeah.
Yes. Technology is amazing. I mean, you and I, like, it was really nice to be able to meet you. This is the first time that we've met in person. We talked on the phone, but so yes, and being so far away from each other. So yes, I know technology is amazing. Okay. Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate you so much.
I want to follow you. So give me whatever I need to do to follow you so I can learn.
Okay. Yes, I will. Yes. Yes. I am crystalnerpel.com. We'll just start
Okay.
there. Yeah.
Okay. We'll start there.
Yes. So, if you need some help leaning into the love and learning how to look at what you already own with a new perspective, you can get some help from Jamie Price at designcompass.net. You can also follow her on Facebook at Design Compass Interiors Consulting. And I can help you lean into love with my Loving Your Home Club. So you can find me at crystalnerpel.com, and you can also find me on Instagram and Facebook, and we will see you next time.